In this month's 2-minute update, we're going to focus on the new Microsoft licensing. I know we've been talking about this since October, and it is coming near. So March 1st is the deadline. So what does it mean? Well, first and foremost, there's a lot of changes. And the reason that we have not been able to give you specifics is because Microsoft has been changing things on their end on a regular basis. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you everything that we know at this time. There are literally changes that happened just this morning before we made this recording. So there could be a lot of things that change after the recording, but we're going to give you what we know so far. Number one, Microsoft has not done a price increase for quite a while. So they're upping their price. That's fine. We've all done price increases, so we get that. The big difference is how they're doing it. So first and foremost, they're going to start with 6 initial SKUs right now. So they're only going to start with 6, and then they're going to do the rest of them on July 1st. So all of the prices are going to go up and everything's going to be affected, but they're going to do it in sections. So depending on the section that you have will depend on what if you see anything now or see it later on. They're going to offer both month-to-month and annual options. So on the month-to-month, they're going to be a slightly higher price than the annual options. However, there's definitely some flaws in the annual options, and that's really what I want to talk about today. So first thing I'm going to talk about is not necessarily the difference between annual and month-to-month, but basically what things need to be worked on the annual side because the way they are now. So first and foremost, if you sign a contract for the annual for your Microsoft licensing, you are locked into that contract. It doesn't matter what happens to the business. If you have a downturn in business, mergers, acquisitions, out of business, whatever, you're still on the hook for those licenses. Does not matter. There's no out on those contracts. Next thing, you can add more users to the contract, but you cannot get rid of any of the users that you signed up for. You are now locked into those users. There's no way of going back. So basically, if you have a position that is vacated by a team member, whether you let them go or whatever, you're still paying for their license, whether they're there or not. If you have to let go of 5 or 6 people, you're still paying for their licenses no matter what. You've signed that license with Microsoft. There's no getting out of it. You cannot change license types to a lesser program. So this is something that we do often with our clients, is that especially when we first take them on, when we first take on new clients, we realize that they're overbuying their licenses, they're oversubscribing, and that they can buy a lesser license. If you pay for the annual license, you cannot downgrade your license in any way. As a matter of fact, to upgrade, there's only certain things that you can upgrade. Microsoft won't let you upgrade across the board either. They're going to pick certain SKUs and what you can do with those certain SKUs, whether you want to upgrade or not. If you can't upgrade, you're locked into that agreement for the rest of that term of that license. You cannot change it. So they're going to be very restrictive on what they can do. You can't change providers at any time. So you're locked into wherever you're buying that from. There's no outs on that. They're really strict on that. If you order a license and you change your mind, you only have 72 hours to change that license. Otherwise, you are locked in for the year. If you change that license within the 72 hours, you still have to pay for the amount that you used that license. So if you ordered a license and used it for 2 days and canceled it, or you had it for 2 days, decided, oh my gosh, that person's not going to start, I don't need it, you still have to pay them for that time that you used the license, even though you may or may not have activated it. Once you sign it, that's what that you're on the hook for it. If you have, this is a really big one. A lot of our clients have different types of licenses. So they might have one type of license for one category user, another type of license for another category user. Those different types of licenses are not coterminous. What that means is that they will not end on the same exact date. So you might have one set of licenses with the annual subscription ends in February, and another set of licenses where the annual subscription ends in April. It's up to you to keep track of when those licenses end and what the renewal is. If you have different users on different licenses, you need to keep track and maintain who's on those licenses and when the end dates are, because those are all going to be separate end dates. You may have to pay up front for that annual license instead of paying over the month. If Microsoft comes up with a different license midterm that is better for you, and this has happened a lot for our clients anyways, if they come up with a better license, you can't switch the license. You are in the license for the one that you bought. So we've had a lot of times where Microsoft has come up with a new product and we're like, oh, hey, great, they have this new product. This is a great alternative for you. It either gives you the same thing for less or gives you more for the same amount. You can't switch. They're not going to let you change even though they have this new license that came out. The account can be suspended, but you're still going to be billed for it. So what it means is you're just not getting email. You're not having functionality, but you're still going to get billed. That end date does not change. We can't pause a subscription. Auto renew is on by default. So you will automatically renew for another year unless you tell somebody, hey, listen, we don't want to auto renew. If you don't auto renew, you will not have, you'll have access to your email for a short period of time, and then it'll be retained for a very short period of time. So if you miss that renewal, you may lose all of your data. Any trial licenses will automatically switch over to a paid license. It's no longer we're used to pop up and tell you, hey, you're at the end of your trial. Do you want to go forward? It's automatically going to send you to a new license right away. Add-ons. So a lot of our clients use add-ons for filtering, for mail protection, stuff like that. This is one of the things that just changed literally this morning on it. So add-ons are a whole nother separate thing and are going to be treated as a separate subscription. So they're going to have their own end date and their own requirements, even though they're tied into the main license that you have. Some restrictions are going to be, some add-ons are going to have annual options, some are going to have monthly options, and some may have both, some may have neither. It's all over the place right now. You're going to have some of them are going to allow you to do different things with them. Some of them are going to go away. This is the thing that Microsoft just changed this morning. There was a whole bunch that they weren't even going to give you month-to-month options for add-ons. They just changed it. Originally, it was 61 add-ons that were not going to have any month-to-month option. Now they finally changed that, but there's still a substantial amount. There's still like probably 25 to 30 of them that they're saying we're not even going to give you that option to go forth with. You cannot, basically if you reorder, if you change your add-on, we have to first sell you the new add-on before we get rid of the old add-on. Otherwise you're going to lose all your connections on that and it's all going to have to be rekeyed. So we're really hoping that Microsoft fixes this or does something to make it a little bit easier. We don't mind them raising their prices. That's fine. Everybody has to do that periodically. But the way that they're doing this is really disjointed. So we're hoping that it goes through. A lot of our clients are opting to stay on to, actually, so far all of our clients are opting to stay on to the month-to-month part of it until Microsoft gets this annual part figured out, or if Microsoft just figures out, hey, listen, we shouldn't do this annual at all. This just didn't make sense. We don't know if that's going to be the case. Our whole industry is up in questions on whether it is or not. But we really wanted to get you updated, and that's what this video is for. I hope this was helpful. Please contact our team, our VCIOs. They're going to give you as much information as they can, as much updated information as we have available to us at any point in time. Thank you very much. Have a great day.